right, so here is our video for the market structure update. Let's get to it. We're going to come down to our pullback reversal line, and by default it's set on 5 minutes. It's set on aggressive, and your trading style is trend. The biggest part of this update is the trade direction selection, where you no longer have to choose your direction. You can let the indicator do it for you, which is what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to turn on the auto mode. The auto mode will review pullback reversal lines. It will filter out the ones that it feels it needs to filter, and it will apply the ones that it feels like it needs to apply. And whatever pullback line is made, you have then the option to turn on a trail stop, which I feel is going to be a game changer for you mentally to help stay in the trades. By default, this is the ATR multiplier and the ATR length. I feel it is best that when you first use this indicator, please keep these settings on before you change them, just so you can see how they work. All right. Price will be, or the line can be further away than what you might like with your indicator, with your price, with your entry. So it doesn't necessarily need to be a trail stop at the beginning for all of your contracts, but if you get really good with your risk management brackets, once you have TP1 hit, maybe even TP2 hit, all of a sudden TP3 can really afford this trail, and it makes your trail very, very mechanical. So, but please play around the settings, and if you find a setting that you like better for your style, please share it with the community. But we're going to go ahead and turn that on, and that will show up in white. All right. Then we come down here. We're past the label section, and we're going to go to pullback reversal line number 2. And I'm going to keep the exact same settings. You can change it to chart, you can change it to 15 minutes, etc. I'm going to keep the same settings for this, and I'm also going to go into an auto mode. We come down here and you see the same settings for the multiplier, and this trail is in purple. All right, and we'll go ahead and turn that on as well. So what's the deal? Why the same exact settings? Well, within the auto function of the time frame 2 and time frame 1 of the reversal lines, the filtering of it has different requirements, and what that will do is it will allow longs and shorts to show where I guess you can call it algorithm, where the script feels like it should be placed. So instead of trying to make a indicator that gives you the absolute best entries by filtering out all of these possible trade opportunities, instead this setup will allow both longs and shorts to show. So I will show you that in a second. And we're not going to turn on anything else for this video, as the biggest update, the update to this video is the trail stop and the auto function, really. If you don't use the auto function and you select long or short and all of that, then they're all print, right? And the trails will also print for them as well. So you still have full control. You don't have to use the auto function. All right, so we have a trail stop in place over here. It was in place until it broke at 8:47. And you can see how long this trail stop went on for. Started here. Price is here. So this was about 20-point stop. You do not need to initially use this as your stop, but you can see that as the market is climbing, how this short is still very valid as it retested and actually made a new low. So this stop did do its job. This is a long that when it was fired here came against you and ended up coming back near your break even to eventually take you out for a loss. Here's a short that when the trail stop was initiated, price did go down in your favor by over 10 points, and that's what I want you to back test. That's what I want you to look at through your back testing. All right, is I would like to hear, and what I would like to see from you guys is that when you're seeing these trail stops in the auto mode printed, that TP1 should be much easier to hit than what it was before. All right, we don't know if it's going to be a huge trail stop move that lasts for hours like this, or if it's going to be a short one that ends up failing like this. But when you see a trail stop, I would like to hear the feedback that, hey, my TP1 is getting hit. And if your TP1 is not getting hit, where are you entering at? Are you entering when you're seeing the trail stop? Are you entering after you get that full candle underneath the reversal line, right? Because that's what shows an entry. Is your TP too big, right? Are you noticing that when you enter a trade, you're getting 10, 12, 13 points, but you're not getting TP1 of, let's say, 20 points? So that's what you want to be looking at. So here's a short that went in your favor for at least 20 points before it failed. Here's a big move up from yesterday. And we're going to be coming up to the area to discuss. Here is a good spot. So there will be times where the market is choppy, the market is rangy, and this is where the filtering of the two different time frames of the pullback reversal lines come into play. It is filtering differently on those two settings. So that way it allows the white to play this long while it did not allow the purple to play this long. It did not allow the white to play the short, but it allowed the purple to play the short. So you're able to see both sides of the coin, and I think that's perfect. That's exactly how I want it. I don't want it to filter this out because, yeah, sure, the short worked out at the end, but it could have easily been flipped around the other way, right? And because we're all different traders and we're all looking for different things, I thought it would be very valuable to be able to have an auto function that could do this. So also the way to think about it too is when you have an area where there is two trails that are running at the same time, that's a really choppy area, right? There's not a full trend direction happening there. So you could also say, you know what, I'm going to stay away from it. I'm not going to play it, right? And you can see the difference where there's only one trail, right? Let's do another example. Here you go. So again, just one trail. It activates, you get TP1 fairly easily, and then you get disappointed once your runner is no longer running. And that's the name of the game, right? So you need to have your risk management and your brackets set up to where you can enjoy that TP1, maybe even that TP2, and you need to let that TP3 go. You need to follow this line, or you need to have some type of mechanical way to stay in the trade for as long as possible. And that's this line for me. That's what I'm trying to do for everybody. And, the emotions that come with that, write those down, right? Because some of you are going to have a hard time with, okay, my one or two micros are up $150, and now I've made $10 because it tagged me out. That type of mentality, though, by allowing $130 to only become $10, will then allow you to be in an opportunity like this, right? And you're in it the whole day. That mentality is saying, hey, I've already paid. I'm already risk-free. I've already made my money. We can see it's gone in our favor. I've cashed out. I've scaled out of the trade instead of scaling in. So then you allow yourself to be taken out. Do one more. Here we go. So you can see a long is activated here while there's still a short running in play. So you can add the other indicators on your chart, like the higher time frame candle coloring. And if the higher time frame candles are green, then I would be more inclined to take the long, right? If the higher time frame candles are red, then I would be more inclined to take the short trail, right? So this is just the meat and potatoes of the market structure indicator. You add on other confluences and you can choose a side, right? Or once this line breaks and it's now confirmed that the long is in place, you can just take a line and you can extend it just for your own benefit. And you can see how a lot of times it will come back down, touch that area, and then continue higher. So that way you don't have to think, oh wow, I'm so late in the trade, I need my stop to be all the way down here, where that's a lot to risk. We don't want to do that. It's just to try to help you see who's in control, where's the math working out, etc. So again, when you see the long trail stop breaks down, then what happens? If your candle coloring turns red, right, and everything is scalping line is red, let's say, your couple other tools without cluttering up your chart are showing you that, hey, we're going to be moving down, and now the trail stop for the long is out. A lot of bulls are exiting the market. Now you can go short, right? So I think that's basically everything for this update. You get so excited about an indicator update, and then it's like you make the video and it's like, oh, there's really not that much to talk about. But this is huge. I mean, this is a big deal. This is a pretty big deal. I hope you guys see that. I really hope this video helps you. Please let everybody in the community know, what settings do you like. This is what I like. I like this. But you can change it to chart, especially, late at night, Sydney and Tokyo. ATR is really small. The chart time frame, setting it on a 1 could be beneficial, because you're going to see more entries. You're going to see more opportunities. And the bigger the time frame you select, then the less entries you'll see, but hopefully the entries you get are much, much, much bigger moves, because they're happening off of those bigger time frames. So, and then once you do start playing around with this multiplier, you can always hit the reset settings button, and it'll go right back to what I feel like is the best. But I'm looking forward to hearing what everybody does with this indicator. Looking forward to hearing what value it brings to everybody. This is an indicator that shows you an entry, right? It shows all 3 points: your entry, your trade management, and your exit. So it's pretty powerful, I think. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.